Hello everyone, this is Arpan. Welcome to this week's forecast video. Before we begin, please note that trading forex and CFDs involves a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The analysis and opinions shared in this video are for educational purposes only and do not constitute financial advice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always manage your risk carefully and trade responsibly. So now let's take a look at the fundamental news events that are yet to be released this week and how it might impact the market. On Tuesday, actually Tuesday brings a couple of high impact data points. The first one expected is a UK unemployment rate for December. This helps gauge labor market strength and consumer spending trend in the UK. Eurozone current account. This shows cross-border capital flows and demand for the euros. These releases can move GBP and euro pairs and risk sentiment depending on how labor conditions and capital balances evolve. Wednesday is a bigger macro day. US housing starts and building permits, key indicators of construction activity and economic momentum. The next one expected is the pending home sales, another gauge of residential market conditions here in the US. UK CPI for December. Inflation is the headline focus for central banks and market pricing. Actually, watch for these news releases because if the inflation surprises, then there might be volatility in USD and GBP pairs. Thursday brings a mixed bag of major releases. US advanced GBP for 3Q revises economic growth expectations. Japan CPI for December, key inflation read in Asia with implications for the yen and back of Japan policy. These can impact equity, forex, and bond markets, particularly if growth or inflation deviates from expectations. Friday, actually, we expect Canada retail sales, consumer demand indicator impacting, CAD sentiment, and UK retail sales. Another look at consumption trends in the euro. Retail sales figures help confirm consumer strength, often a bellwether for broader economic momentum. So these are the news releases that are expected this week, which might impact the market. So just keep an eye on these news releases. Now let's take a look at the technical forecast of GBPCHF. On the daily chart, we could see that the price, which is moving lower, has broken below a strong support zone. Price is currently retesting this zone. So until this zone holds, this zone which was acting as a support is now acting as a resistance after the breakout. So until this zone holds, my bearish view still remains the same, and I expect the price to move over further. Moving down to the H4 chart, we could see that the price has broken below the most recent uptrend line, and also we could see the price has created bearish divergence. What I mean is the price has created higher highs, whereas the MACD indicator has created lower highs. So the H4 chart supports with evidences for the bears. And moving down to the H1 chart, on the H1 chart too, we have a trend line breakout. As you can see, the price has broken above the most recent uptrend line, and also the price which is moving lower has created lower lows, lower high structure. As you can see, I have marked in yellow. So this confirms the bearish momentum. So basically, I expect pullbacks towards the resistance zones that I have marked in red and for the continuation lower. The next instrument that we are going to look is the S&P 500. On the daily chart, the price is currently broken below the most recent uptrend line. We also have a bearish divergence here. As you can see, the price has created higher highs, whereas the MACD indicator has created lower highs. So the bears are in control at the moment on the daily chart. Moving down to the H4 chart, the H4 chart too supports this bearish view. We have a bearish divergence here as well, and the price has broken below the most recent uptrend line. So we have a trend line breakout on multiple time frames. So the bears are in the lead. The H4 chart too confirms that. On the H1 chart, we have a strong bearish momentum here, and until the two key resistance zones that have marked in red holes, I expect the price to move lower further after retraces. So that's all for this week. Have a great trading week ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, it's Arvind Akash signing off. Bye. Cheers.